Hi, this is Rick Patterson. Thanks for coming to my video today. Today I'm going to talk about how to remove a tailpiece under a bathroom sink. Stay tuned. Okay, as you can see here right behind me, I have some backlighting, so I'm going to be a little bit dark for a little while. But the most important thing for you to see here is that this tailpiece. The tailpiece itself was cut, and then the vanity was moved and saved for later use, and so now we're using it now. So the tailpiece was cut a little short. Let me show you the difficulty in the challenge that I have right now and why I'm changing out the tailpiece. As you can tell here, the tailpiece is an alloy, and it was cut too short to have a fitting of any kind to put here. So what I'm going to have to do is remove this. This is a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to reduce this down to 1 1/4 for a bathroom. Now, the tool of choice for me is this gizmo. If I haven't shown you this in previous videos, and this is your first video, this is what I like to use. It's actually a thumb lever, thumb activated pipe wrench, and I like it because it does fit around most everything. This is pretty big, so it does fit around a lot of tools and fittings that I need to have when working for plumbing. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and use this to remove the fitting. It's how we put nuts on and braces and things like this. You're going to want to turn this counterclockwise. So clockwise will tighten it, and so we want to go counterclockwise here, and counterclockwise is different going up and down than it is here. So I'm going to take this fitting and grab a hold of it like so, and if I use it on this side, I'm going to go that way. So I got to flip this now. Take this fitting completely, this tool, and get everything squared and flat. And there it is right there. So make sure I get a good bite on the edge of it. Keep it square, and then just pull like so, and that'll release it. Alright, so if you notice here, as I'm turning this, what happened was the drain valve was attached to it pretty strong, so I need to go ahead and disconnect that. And basically this clip right here, you just squeeze it and it will slide off the tailpiece here. Alright, so let's see what I can do here. I'll go ahead, try it again. Let's see, you loosen it, so I'm going to turn it back this way. I'm sorry. Turn it back the other way. That's the cool part about doing plumbing. Kind of get to know as you go. There it is. Just keep going. Just activate it with your thumb again. Get a good bite. Here. And let's see if it's ready to go by hand yet. Here's another little piece I need to take care of. I'm going to go ahead and take this off since it's in the way. Alright, just remove that totally. And now that is loosened a lot. Let me see if I can just use my channel locks to do this as well. It's a big fight for a channel lock. Let's see if that's going to work at all. Okay, so now I can do this pretty much by hand, and I'm just going to go ahead and keep unscrewing it. Okay, now that's out, and that's out, and this is out. Okay, so now I'm ready to go to the next step. As you can see here, there was a lot of debris left over, and this is plumber's putty, and you can see it's brittle and it's coming up. So you want to go ahead and clear all this out. I used to use a paper towel or whatever you want to use to clear this out completely. And because you're going to start over again with some new plumber's putty. Okay, so once that's clean and ready to go, then you can move on to the next step. So make sure you get, I'm sorry, I was watching what I was doing instead of watching the camera and holding it steady so you didn't see much there. Okay, and that's ready to go there. So now we're ready to install the tailpiece itself and go to the next step. So the next step, we're going to install or apply some plumber's putty right here and move on. What we have here is plumber's putty. You've got to apply this to underneath. This is the cap that goes into the sink and into the fitting. So what you do is open up the plumber's putty, and if it's hard as a rock when you open this, you can pretty much use some water and make it soft again to get it working for you. It does dry out exposed to air, so this is kind of playtime. You remember when you were a kid and you used Play-Doh or molding putty, things like this in class, and you made a worm? That's what you're going to do here. Just make a worm. Okay. Just roll it back and forth and get it the length that you want. Take it like so. Apply it all the way around. Just kind of squeeze it so it stays in place. Okay. And then you take this, put that back in there. Make sure you put the lid back on good and tight. And now we're ready to set this. Now what we do here is we just set it in the hole. Push down a little bit. Okay, we got that. And that's ready. And you can see it's squeezing out on the side. That's good. That means it's a good seal. And you're not going to have a leak around here at all. Okay. Now we're ready to go ahead and put the next piece in, the tailpiece itself. Now, all of this is self-adjusting, and I got this particular one at a major hardware store. The reason I like this tailpiece is because of this accordion extension. See, so I can just take it and pull like so, and then I can bend it to however I want. So if I have an offset like that, I can do that. So that's why I have this here, because I'm trying to go from here way on over here to the right. And so I'm going to have to use some extensions and whatnot to make that curve. I'm going to have to put a what we call a P-trap under here, and the P-trap is used to trap any noxious gas coming from the sewer line. So, alright, so we're ready to move on here. What I'm going to have to do is reach my hand up inside the sink and hold that piece while I screw this piece in here. Some people ask, well, do I put pipe thread compound on here? You can if you want to. You don't have to. I think it's a pretty good idea to go ahead and put compound, threading compound on anything that has threads and water. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So the two items you're going to want, I don't know if you could read this or not, it's the pipe joint compound. This is by Odie. Again, any name brands that I mention, I don't get paid by them. So those are freebies. And then, of course, Teflon tape. So all I do here is I'm going to go ahead and remove this cap. It does come sealed. That's kind of cool. Take that off. Just take a little bit right here. And I want to fill the top thread. See, there's a hole right there. I'm not interested in covering that up. That's for ventilation, to allow the water to go past that. And some of you are going to write me and say, no, it's not. Well, that's okay, write me. I don't know everything, but I'm a student all the time. I learn all the time. And that's probably the best philosophy to have, is just become a student and remain humble. And I think sometimes the most dangerous thing that you can say to yourself is, oh, I already know that. Because you stop learning when you say stuff like that. Alright, so it's important, yes, to have, when you get through with this, to have something to wipe your finger with. If you want to use your pants or your helper's pants, that's okay too. Alright, so now the idea is to remember when you're putting on Teflon tape, it does fold up really easy, and it's the devil to try to get to stay straight. You want to turn it in the direction that you're going to be screwing on the top. So I'm going to turn in this direction right here. I'm going to turn it to me, and I'm going to use Teflon tape. Now, some of you are going to write me and say, well, you don't have to use both. You're right, you don't have to. I do it because I found out by using both, I don't have leaks. And that's the one goal of every plumber, especially if you're a DIY plumber. You don't want to have leaks of any kind, no water leaks or anything like that. So again, that's why I use both, because in the 35 years I've been doing this, I've never had a leak when I use both the Teflon tape and the compound, joint compound as well. Okay, so your hands are going to get messy, just like this. Go ahead and clean them off. Take a second just to clean them off. Keeps everything looking pretty. You don't have a big mess to clean up. So I'll just use this, okay? And I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and let's see if I even want to do that right now. Probably would be okay once I get this set. Now, I'm going to screw this in the top, and then this rubber gasket right here is what's going to allow a good seal. Now, let me just talk about this hole right here. If you look, most of your sinks, this one does not have an overflow valve at all, or overflow hole. Yeah, it does. Okay, and it's right up here. Well, I'm going to show this to you. And if you can see that hole right there, okay, that's an overflow. In case the water keeps running, you don't want it to overflow outside the sink, so that's an overflow. Well, there's a cavity inside the basin here. Matter of fact, if you look right here underneath, if you see this, yeah, right there, okay, it's a little big, but this is an overflow, okay? All right, so that's what this is for. That hole there allows that water to go through the overflow and hit underneath here and still drain and not fill up. Okay, so that's what we're going to do now. So we take this and we keep this in the position that we want here. So I just insert here and twist this on. That to where I want it, and I'm just going to take this right here, maybe one more turn. Okay, now seeing what I've done, I've gone way too far, so I'm going to take this down a little bit, right about there, and then take this at the bottom and screw this up into it. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want a really, really, really tight fit, so it's going to pull down at the top as I'm pushing up here at the bottom. And I want the stopper valve to be in the back. So you have to be very, very careful when you're using anything like plastic and stuff like this. So I'm going to take my channel lock, open it up all the way. Sometimes you have to have big hands to make that happen. But just hand tight is good. Like so. And I want to get it on as tight as possible. Okay. And this is Rick Patterson with the Handyman Toolbox. By the way, before you go, I want to encourage you to check out my other videos, and you'll see a link below. Click on it. The 1,000th person that subscribes to thehandymantoolbox.com gets a free tool. Go ahead and register now. See you there.